is more than a pitch. This is your story, your shot, your moment. Only the bold become the next bestseller. Step into the spotlight, your words in hand. You've got one shot, they'll understand. A voice, a dream, a future to claim. Make them feel it when you say your name. Will you rise, will you fall? Can you answer the call? They're watching, you're clocking. It's now or not at all. Make your pitch, make it loud. Turn the page, move the crowd. This is it, take your stand. One voice, one mic, one chance. So make your pitch, win the room. Let them feel that fire boom. Only one will take the crown. The next bestseller starts now. No time for maybe, no space for fear. You've worked, you've bled, now bring it here. Heart on the page, eyes on the prize. This is the battle where stories rise. Then no bluffs, will you fall? Can you answer the call? They're watching, you're clocking. It's now or not at all. Make your pitch, make it loud. Turn the page, move the crowd. This is it, take your stand. One voice, one mic, one chance. Make your pitch, win the room. Let them feel that fire boom. Only one will take the crown. The next bestseller starts now. No fluff, no filler, no backup plan. You got one shot to show them who you are. Can your words win the world? Let's find out. Make your pitch, make it count. One idea, shake the ground. Lights are on, can't back down. The next bestseller starts now. Make your pitch, make it loud. Turn the page, move the crowd. This is it, take your stand. One voice, one mic, one chance. Make your pitch, win the room. Let them feel that fire boom. Only one will take the crown. The next bestseller starts now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of the After Show. Oh my goodness, what an episode, right? We call it a mega-sode. All right, so I'm your host, Coach Nick, and we got the team next bestseller on the call right here. So everybody wave and say hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna say that again.
Hello,
Everybody,
hello.
there we go. Hello, hello,
Hey,
hello.
everybody.
Hello.
All right. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on episode 1, part 2, right? The mega-sode, right? Okay. So we had some results, right? We didn't have results part 1. Part 2, we got results right here. But some of the people who watch them are like, wait a minute, I'm a bit confused. Wait a minute, I see some faces here that look like they said no or maybe so. How come we on the call right here, right? So don't worry, we're going to address that. We're going to address that right there. But first, come on, let's go around the room here, right here. And so let's talk about it here. Sam, how you feeling today, brother?
Oh, I feel good.
Feel good, feel good. How does it feel watching that episode? How do you feel watching yourself on internet TV?
It was good. It was good to see it, and I shared it with a lot of people, so a lot of people saw it, so it was good.
Okay. Now make sure you tell those same people to come on over to this channel for the after show, right? The show, the party doesn't stop. It comes over to the after show. So you get that phone out, you get those fingers working and testing it. Say, hey, come on over, copy this link, put it in the text, send it to them. Tell them, come on over to the after show right here, right? Okay, Carla with a K. Hey, how we doing?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here.
Good. So, the chat popping off again because of Caller K, right? So what do you got to say about these fans of yours who just making sure that they show the love for Sister K?
Honestly, I'm so grateful for people rooting for me, and just showing up. That means so much. And, I think that's what it's all about, like community, building community, and just supporting one another. So I'm really appreciative.
Fantastic, fantastic. Keep going around the horn. All right, let's talk to Joyce. Hello, Joyce. You on mute? Come on, mute, Joyce.
Hello.
Okay, so Joyce, you was watching yourself tonight, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. How was that experience watching yourself up there in front of them judges making your pitch? Come on, give us the inside scoop on that.
It was surreal, to be honest with you, but I'm just glad that I was able to step in and give it my best and looking forward to doing exactly that. So,
Mm.
yes.
Okay, okay. And we're gonna come back to those results too. Tasha G is in the house. Tasha G, what's up, Tasha
Hey,
G?
nothing much. Happy to be here. Hate everybody. Thursday went
Okay.
by fast. We got here again already.
I know, right? It's only 7 days in the week and they go fast right there. Okay, I want to know what was it like watching because you were in part one, right? So part
Mhm.
two, you got a chance to watch everybody else. What's some of your takeaways from watching your fellow contestants?
I would say that I'm happy to be in the competition because I can't imagine how y'all are going to vote. It's a lot happening. Um, Everybody has really good ideas. I see why they have been chosen. And I just know that this is a culmination. Like a lot of us have been waiting for a time. You know how they say, stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, right? And you
Mm,
definitely don't want to be by yourself when you're in a situation like that. So I feel like this is some good, healthy competition, and I'm very excited to see where it's going to go.
okay. Jakaya, how we doing, Jakaya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Okay. So, all right. So today's episode, you got a chance to watch everybody else. We saw you the first time, part one. Now you got a chance to watch everybody else. So, what was your thoughts on watching your fellow contestants?
Honestly, it was nice. I liked everybody's stories. It seemed very interesting. And I like that I got to see like other people.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's go with Carla with a C. Carla with a C. Hello there.
Good evening. Hello, Coach Nick. How are you?
I'm very well this evening, my friend. She got that $1 million smile. I'm telling you right now, that $1 million, helping folks out, being a caretaker, it's hard to keep that smile on your face all the time. So when I see that smile, it just lets me know that you're just one of a kind, special person. So I
Thank
want to give you
you.
some flowers right then and there. Okay. All right. So caller. All right, so caller. So give us your thoughts on episode two.
So, episode 2, I was listening to the feedback that other of
Mm,
the contestants, received, the other aspiring authors, because I was looking to see if they received some feedback that I could also incorporate into mine. I was cheering for them. I was, I didn't get to see what went on in the room for other people. So I was just paying attention and taking notes.
little strategy going on right here.
A little bit.
Let the games begin. Okay, come on. Hey, there she is. Sister with a T, Tiara. What's up, Tiara? We missed you last week, but we're glad we got you here today. Come on, talk to us. How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
All right. So, all right. We gonna have a conversation tonight. We're gonna have a conversation tonight. Okay, so you got up there, right? We did the interview on the Coach Nick bench, and then you went in there and you stuck your chest out, right? You made your pitch, that psychological thriller with all that spiciness in it, right? Okay, what was it like watching yourself talking about such spicy topics?
Oh goodness, it was hard because those are things like, with my elders and things like that, I still portray myself as a young child. So with talking about things like that, it's like, this is real, this is real. It's really hard because it's like my mom is watching. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious right there. Okay. Well, I watch it. But hey, that's the life of an author, right? You got to put it out there. You got to put it out there, right? It's funny. I was hearing Missy Elliott on the interview, and not that long ago, probably about a year or so ago, and she was saying, oh yeah, she was being inducted into the Hollywood, not Hollywood, but the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? And her mother was in the audience for the first time seeing her perform. And I was like, well, wait a minute, first time. And she said, yeah, because the language I use, I don't want to do it in front of my mom.
Yep. Exactly.
So I
I'm
get what you're
innocent,
saying.
I'm innocent.
Well, all right. Well, hopefully she watching now, but we gotta go deeper into this thing here. We gotta go deeper into this, which we will, right? Okay. All right, Boris, my main man, Boris. Come on, brother. Talk to us. Tell us how you're feeling tonight.
Hey, I salute everybody first. So I'm gonna say this by quoting Edith Childs. She was one person, one elderly person that did help Obama go through some times that he wasn't feeling well when he was about to start his campaign. And these are her words: fired up, ready to go. Man, I'm fired up, ready to go, people. When I was there, that was so not just because I saw myself and I could, but I saw everybody, and I will say this: fired up, ready to go.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you something. Look, Joyce, we're taking Boris on our speakers tour with us.
Listen, all the way. Okay, he's gonna be the one giving all the quotes. All right, ready to go.
I
Fired up.
mean, he is hope personified. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I would be remiss, in which I would never be remiss, if I did not talk about the one, the only founder and CEO of Grilling Company, Miss Robin. Come on, Robin. Say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone. I'm receiving all your silent claps, so I see them. Thank you, thank you. I'm happy to see everybody here. I enjoyed watching the episode, just seeing some of the parts and pieces that I didn't get to see because I was in the pitch room the whole time. But I love to see how it all came together, the excitement, the nervousness. I've been talking to people all week about this show, and they've been anxious to watch it. And the concept of this whole thing, I think the people watching are just as excited as you guys actually performing your pitches. So just know that there are a lot of eyes on you guys. So not to make you nervous, but just so that you have some supporters out there that you don't even know about.
Mm, facts, 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 facts. And we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about that, those supporters right there. All right, so let's get to, man, I'm just going to get right to it right here. First of all, before I do that, Robin, all right, so how, I know you get to see the nervousness and you get to see the excitement, all that stuff, but what's your overall thoughts on episode 2?
Wow, my overall thoughts on episode 2. I really liked hearing each individual story because, like I said last week, it's going to be so difficult for people. I'm glad I'm not a judge. I'm glad I'm not a judge. But I'm like, I literally want to take each one of your stories and help you turn it into a book so bad because you're not here for no reason. Like each one, I see potential. I see potential as writers in you. So as I'm hearing you giving your pitch to the judges, I can just hear in my head all the parts and the moving pieces coming together for these stories. So I'm super excited about where you go with this journey from here and into the future. And as each round we're going to start getting less and less contestants. But like Coach Nick said earlier, don't forget that you don't have to be a winner to be a winner. there's a lot of people on other shows that have gone and done way far beyond the winner. So, like I said, I'm hearing a lot of great stories and a lot of potential for the need out there. So don't let this be the end of the journey for you if you don't make it to other rounds. But yeah, that's my biggest takeaway. Like, is the competition is stiff. So glad I'm not a judge.
So let's talk about that for a second right here. So we have some folks who got to know and a maybe, and so some of them are here. So Robin, let's kind of address why they're here. And so the people are like, well, what happened? So let's kind of speak to that.
Yeah, so we in the beginning of the competition, one of the rules was for each contestant to come with a concept or an idea of a story. And someone slipped through the cracks that had actually maybe one or two people who have written more of their book than necessarily a concept. So we wanted to right our wrong and make sure that everybody had the same equal playing field, and we decided to bring all the contestants from the tryout phase into round one. And we told you guys to write as much as you want for your idea if that's going to help you with your next round. So we wanted to make sure that we were very open, and we let you know, very transparent as to what happened, so that everybody has the same opportunities moving forward. Because like I said, your stories are all unique, your stories are all great. So we want you to all have that same equal opportunity as another contestant.
And so there you have it right there. So things work out the way they need to work out. All right. So I want to pull up a few highlights from tonight's episode. So first, I'm going to do this right here. All right. So we're going to go over, and who do you think we're going to share today? I'm going to see. Who do you think we want to share today? All right. All right. So let's do this here. Okay, oh, look like Sam is up first right here. So let's play a little highlight from Sam.
Concept, a little bit about.
Let's move it up a little bit. Live TV. Here we go. Live TV, I tell you. So we'll let's see if we can try this again with Sam here. Let's see. Let's see if we can get Sam one more time here. All right. Okay, we'll come back to the highlight right there. Little technical difficulties right there. But Sam, you started off the show, well, start off your pitch with a rap, right? Spoken word, poetry, right? So, why don't you tell the people why you chose to go that route?
Well, to be honest, I do a lot of creative things. I do artwork, I write poetry, I write songs, I do murals, I design clothing, and I do this outside of my day job. So it's something that just came to me naturally. And it was actually something that I wrote probably maybe 15 years ago or so, but I just remembered it. Like once I write it, I remember it in my head.
Ooh, we got like a photographic memory going on here.
Yeah.
And then the title though. Come on, break down the title. What's up with the title? Tell the people the title again, and then break that title down.
Well, there's been a change. I changed my title.
Oh,
That's what I
okay,
was gonna tell
okay.
everybody because
Breaking news,
what
people.
what what
Breaking
I'm gonna
news.
talk about this time is gonna relate more to my title. All I'm gonna say is it's gonna relate to it's gonna be a metaphor. Basically, my title's gonna be more of a metaphor. It's called Cashmere Thoughts. That's the name of the title now. So it's a metaphor. It's a lot of symbolism behind it.
Okay, so the same story, but just a different title.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Cashmere Thoughts. All right, Cashmere Thoughts. Right. Okay, so Robin and I we had the pleasure of meeting with Maryland Humanities Organization, right? And they're all about the arts, and they have a huge focus on books and literacy, but not just about getting people to read books, but to actually take what's in the pages and apply to their lives to improve and better their lives, right? And they want to have a dialogue around that and say, like, well, how is this book helping you, right? How is this helping you improve your relationships, improve your finances, improve your health, improve the quality of your life? And so I want to incorporate a bit of that kind of discussion in the live show, because each one of you guys have not only entertaining book concepts, but you also have impact as a part of it, at the heart of it, right? And so um I'm asking you to continue to be brave and to go a little deep, because the people watching, you're reflecting them, right? They're your tribe. They're out there. They're waiting for these books to be published so they can read them and enjoy them, but also impact them, right? So as you're brave to make your pitch to these judges and have it recorded to where we're now on the internet, letting the whole world know what's going on, I'm asking that you continue to be strong enough to be vulnerable. Strong enough to be vulnerable, because that was like the common theme with the judges, like, hey, let's be more vulnerable, let's be more vulnerable. So let's get that practice in. Okay, so whether moms are watching, dads are watching, uncle, cousin, whoever watching, hey, people need to hear your story, because a lot of times without people being able to connect to someone else's journey, they tend to end their journey. And so, or to stall their journey. So let's be the super authors that we are in the making, and let's have some impact right now. So first, I want to like start off with um what it's like to be young and dating and trying to find somebody. Call it with a C. Come on, I mean, call it with a K. So let's talk about that right there. Let's open up and let's go a little deep into your situations. Come on.
Sure. Putting me in the hot seat, but
Yeah, it's hot seat Thursday.
I think that a lot of us can relate to kind of trying to figure out dating and romance and love. I think I probably mentioned it before, but I feel like so much has changed in like the dating world, even within like the last 5 years. But we have like dating apps, we have, meeting people in person, the normal things, but we also have like situationships and so many just like different layers and nuances with dating, that I think that a lot of people can relate to. So I think in particular, like my novel, I really want it to kind of people, even if they've like experienced heartbreak or if they if they have just experienced different like highs and lows of dating, to just continue to feel inspired to put themselves out there, to be vulnerable, like you're telling us all to do, and to kind of lean into it.
Mm. So what would you say is like the biggest challenge in finding someone that, well, first of all, do you want to find someone you want to spend the rest of your life with? Or you just want
Yep.
to, peruse the scene until you're 80? I don't know.
No, no,
What
I
you think?
am definitely a very serious dater. So, yeah, I am looking.
She's looking. So have you come close only to be disappointed?
I think I've definitely been disappointed, right? But I've
Okay.
also had some like really good experiences too. I think that kind of motivates me, like even if it didn't work out for like something long term, I've had like beautiful experiences. And I think that even just like in my interactions with people, no matter how, if it's for a season or if it's a little bit longer term, I think I always try to take away like a lesson from those experiences. And I think I want to kind of put some of that into my book where, I am not necessarily, not everything will kind of wrap neatly up into like a bow because love
Hmm.
is kind of like complicated, but I think I want to kind of put those like hidden gems into it and then again like have this underlying theme of like, putting yourself out there, not being afraid to, take a risk because I think that's like the whole journey of romance and love.
And I want to stay right with you. Just another question or two. So, in this journey of yours of finding love, have you picked up some tips on how to be more smooth when you and back in my day we called it booking, right? Because we didn't have a cell phone, we had a book, a little black book. See, see look, Robert know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to booking, right? So you're booking, you get the person number, you write in your book, right? Okay. He's like, dang, I lost my book. Oh man, I got to start all over again. Anyway, so now you just, you guys just DM people and all that everything. So you mentioned picking up somebody in the grocery store, right? So it's not a real experience right there. I want to know.
Honestly, if I'm being really honest, like I said, sometimes I'm like super shy, sometimes I'm really confident, so I think it like depends on the day. I've definitely had moments where like a casual conversation of like just like similar interests kind of turns into something else. But I think I do want to kind of also inspire people to like not be so afraid to like just strike up a conversation with a stranger, even if it doesn't go anywhere. Like it's good to just kind of put yourself out there.
Okay, but I don't think you answered my question. Have you actually approached someone in the grocery store?
I can't say that I directly have, but
Okay.
I've heard like really good stories. Like people, I feel like you always hear about people at like Trader Joe's or something. Like people are going like dressed up to like find their match or something like that. I haven't done that yet, but maybe one day when I work up
Been
the
there in
courage.
Trader Joe's getting some Italian meatballs and say, hey, this might be the one. I'm gonna shoot my shot. Okay. All right. So from there, I want to go right over to Tierra. All right. Tierra. So you've been very courageous and vulnerable and bold about your topics, right? And also yourself. So, um, like I said, when I said to you on the interview bench that, you're not the only one, right? So the people are watching, and we have even more people watching on the replay. So shout out to the replay gang. Appreciate that, right? And I'm going to reveal the numbers of episode one because it was like, wow, that's pretty good for a first episode. But so for the people who on the live and also the people who are going to watch it later, you know, do you think it's important to have this kind of conversation? And let's talk about what the topic is.
As far as my book goes,
Yes.
so the topic is pretty much addiction. And this type of addiction is like just sexual and lustful and just deep dark desires type of thing. And it's things that are typically hidden because they do have like underground sex dungeons and things like that. So this topic in general is something that's supposed to be like covered up or not necessarily talked about. It's done in the dark under the covers, things like that.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's something that's good to just shed light on because with that comes a lot of dangers. A lot
Mm,
of dangers.
mm. And so, would you hope that in addition to folks enjoying it, because the way you laid it out as a sexy, steamy psychological thriller, right? So like I said, spicy trouble, right? Okay. But also, is there a message about how if people want to, escape that life, right? Because it's not for them or it's dangerous for them. What would be the message for them to like, you know, escape and get out and
So I contemplated that for a while because I don't want to take away that from people, because sometimes, that's people's way of living.
Mm-hmm.
They survive off of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a term nympho, and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. But I don't necessarily want to like take that away. I want people to learn how to own it, learn how to just be able to handle, manage, not necessarily just back down on or cut down on your desires and the things that you would like. Just do it in a way that is protecting, yourself, and not
Mm.
necessarily just going crazy about it as the character in my book is. She's just never satisfied, so it's just putting a limit on it, and getting a hold of it more so.
Okay, so if I'm hearing you correctly, embracing who you are,
Yes.
right?
Embracing who you-
But doing it in a way that is safe for you.
Yes.
There we go. Right? Okay, so you conservative, be conservative. If you're freaky, be freaky, but just be safe. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I want to go over to Joyce, right? So Joyce, right? She's like, well, what do I gotta do with this conversation? But you see, so Joyce, right here. So before we get to your book, right? Okay, remind the people what your day job is.
My day job, I am a Scrum Master. Professionally, I'm also a licensed social worker as well. And I
Mhm.
am also an event host, facilitator, moderator, and soon to be an author, working towards that. Yes, and speaker.
There you go, right? Okay, so look at all of that just packed into it. So, from a social worker perspective, from a person who facilitates and looking to get the best out of folks too, right? Let's say, yeah, right. Um, what would you say to who would be your targeted audience for your book? Let's go right there. Who will be your targeted audience for your book, and how does your occupation and your skill sets come into play with your book?
Great question, Coach Nick.
Thank you.
So, in regards to occupation and profession, as a social worker and someone who does psychotherapy for teenagers, my book, the title is Bitter But Not Broken. Really, it's a book that reminds readers, and target audience would be anyone that is, regardless what season you are in your life, regardless of what trials and tribulations you're going through, this book reminds you that transformation can occur even when least expected. So, and as someone who works with, who does therapy, someone who is a speaker, or someone who is out there facilitating events, it's a reminder that at the end of the day, healing does come. But
Mm.
sometimes it's when we least expect it. So I'll leave it there.
Ooh, and we least expected. Oh, so you're just gonna just drop a little teaser like that, and that's gonna be it right there, right? So that's how you're gonna do the people. That's how you're gonna do the people. See, okay,
They
all
got it.
right.
They got to come back. They got to come back for
Gotta
more.
come back. Gotta come back. Gotta come back. Well, speaking of coming back, battle round one. Battle round one. Yeah, it's going down. Right? So we already here, like Carla with a C, she didn't kick it off saying, hey, I was watching, I was taking notes and everything right here, right? That she said it. And then last week we got Tosh G. Okay, come on, I want to see everything. And then Carla with a K was like, come on, I want to see everybody to make my notes. I'm trying to compete. I'm trying to win this thing. So okay, well, you guys, the episode is going to air a week from today, but we're going to perform it this coming Saturday. So, what can you tell the people about what you have in store for the judges and for the viewing public? Like, how are you going to step up your game in your pitch and also in the development of your stories? So, I'm gonna come to Jakaya. Let's start first with your answer.
Um, well, I feel like at first maybe try not to be as nervous, and I'm gonna try to put myself out there more, and I guess put more into like my story than before, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
have you been like practicing your pitch?
I have been, yes.
Okay.
I've added a little bit more stuff to it.
Okay. Okay. So you've been practicing, add some more stuff to it. All right. Okay. Okay, cool. Now, I want to know my main man, Boris, because initially you got to know. But then you turned around with all this hope and everything, like, hey, well, I'm talking to the CEO and founder Quill and Co. We're gonna do this thing, right? But now you're like, oh crap, I'm actually still on the show, right? So you had to be thinking, all right, I gotta know the first time. So I really gotta like do something, come to battleground to make sure that the people who are voting, not the judges now, it's all in the hands of the people, that the people hear my story and want to support me. So kind of take us through some of your preparation that's leading to battle round one.
Oh, thank you so much. Pretty much, I start with a quote to say, um, success, the road to success is always under construction. It's always under construction because at every level there is a new devil. So this brings us back to hope again. And as a matter of fact, um, I want to thank the CEO of Quill and Call again because, like we said the last time, it made me go back and refine and re-strategize, especially bringing up some of the things, the most intriguing part of the story that I didn't put in, and that which concerns me because the journey the journey it's physical. There's a physical torture, then there is a mental, and there is at the end of the day a spiritual discovery. Because when Zimba is he thought that he had left, he fought physically and he thought that that was the end. But when we he thought that he had gotten to the destination, which made me to bring the quote that success is not a destination, the road is always under construction. So when he made it to the excellence, yeah, the academy of excellence, he understood that there was another devil he had to fight. That was the mental. He didn't leave the mental state, and when he fought through that and he thought that he was coming to pull his people out, and when he got there, the twist is his people start to fight him. And that makes him to start discovering that there's a spiritual side, which I will end here to say he finally had to understand that he's not only going to bring help to his people economically, but he has to deal with a spiritual force before he can bring in the other one. This makes Dimba one of the toughest and most admirable person in this story. So, behind the scene, I had to pull all that together to make it look like really there are twists and turns and in hope again.
Okay. Well, it kind of sound like to me you didn't did your preamble to your battle round pitch, right? So I hope you got some left in the tank. But based on what you've been flowing from last week into this week, I'm sure you got plenty more left in the tank right here. So
Right,
judges, look out. Now, all right, just look out. Now we only got a short period of time, so you're gonna have to work on how you can like you here, bring it
right,
here, bring it right
right.
there. But
Mhm.
I'm sure you can do it. Okay, let's go to some questions in the chat from folks right here, right? Let's see what we got, what we got here. All right, so first of all, we have here Joyce, that's my girl Joyce from Speaking B. That's my girl Joyce. Okay, Speaking B. I mean, first of all, that's a cool name right there. Speaking B. You good spelling Speaking B? That's where you get it from. I don't know. I like it. Okay, so then we go with let's see here. Calvin Smith, Carla with a C is good to go. Good to go. Where you good to go? You get to go to the next round. That's what I'm saying. Carla with a C. Carla Dancy Smith. All right. And then we have over here, let's see what else we got here. Blissful Couples Corner. says fire with 3 fire emojis, sis Joyce. So Joyce look like Joyce is like kind of blowing the chat today. It was Tasha G. Oh, Tasha G. I don't see nothing in Tasha G. Man, what's going on with Tasha G? Well, Tasha G was getting some comments in the episode, but over in the live, looked like Tasha G fans just kind of fell by the wayside. Tasha, you better get on that TikTok, tell people come on over. What's going on?
You also didn't let me speak yet, so I'm just holding myself back and being respectful to the coach.
Okay,
So I'm
well
just
look at that.
saying because
Shots fired. Okay, now you on the hot seat. Let's go. What you got to say, Tasha G? Like first, let me set you up first. Let's listen because you're focusing on moms, right? With this book here, right? And also that's like your brand is about moms. And so let's speak to them because everybody who's born had a mom, right? Okay, so talk to that, speak to that, right? Because we have some moms on this call right here, and then we have some moms hoping to be moms, right? So come on, Taja, this your shot, this your moment. Let's go.
thank you, coach. See, I was waiting patiently, till you threw it my way. And I'm aggressive. I'm aggressive, right? But no, thank you. Hey, everybody. This has been amazing just to listen to how people are thinking and coming up with so many different stories and stuff. For me, being a mom, it was something that I used to dream of as a girl, right? I was just, everybody else was dreaming like about their wedding and stuff. I just wanted to be a mom and have a baby shower. So, in dreams, you only look at the good part. You don't look at the other side when it's the day to day and the kids are getting sick and you have to take everybody everywhere and you have to cook. Like, they have to eat from the time they're born until they're like 18 or 21 out of your house. That's a lot. And I'm grateful for this competition because in really getting my concept together with my book, Nothing But Yet, How Your Mom Life Crisis Can Turn Into Your Rebirth, I've actually been able to like pinpoint more where moms are stuck. And yes, I am on TikTok. So shout out to Coach Nick for that great intro into that. Appreciate that shout out. The moms are telling me there that the things that they are dealing with is anxiety, overwhelm, and overthinking. And you can be dealing with one of those things, but one of those things grab the other two, and you are in a spiral. And then you think nobody wants to see you or hear you because you're so important to everybody else, and you're waiting for someone to give you the permission to be important to yourself. So I know that this book is going to change the lives of moms and moms to be as well, and those who mother, because you'll get to see, like, do not forget about yourself in the process. You're going to have times where, yes, you are going to be in crisis. You do have to be motivated to make changes that may be a little uncomfortable, maybe a little scary, but that's life. We need to start to think in positive ways. So instead of thinking that things are scary, think that they're exciting. If you think about excitement, you don't know what's on the other side of excitement. You're just ready and prepared for it. So you can take fear and think about it in the same way. So that's what I'm hoping to do with this book for moms.
I love it. So hold up. I gotta look. Let me check somebody here. Okay, so Latasha Jones, right? Hopefully I got your name right. So I'm gonna say, LJ, listen here. Don't come for Tasha, my girl Tasha G. Ain't nobody coming for Tasha G. First of all, people would be crazy to come for Tasha G. Let's just get that straight right here. Okay.
That's a mom that I've helped.
Ain't nobody coming for
That's why
Tasha
you
G.
caught that smoke. That's why you caught that smoke because that's a mom that I've helped. Okay. So she is
So
like, please, this lady has helped me to, literally change my life around by empowering. It's not
mm,
about me enabling anybody. I'm actually empowering them. And I'm so excited to be working with my mentor, Jay, because you didn't talk about this, coach. I'm going to bring this in a little bit. Okay. We
mhm.
have mentors to help us in this next round. So I don't know if people understand how important that is because we're going to have somebody there to help streamline the idea for us to get into this industry. We don't know what this is about. So, I love the moms. Thank you. Like, shout out to LJ and Coach Nick. Me and him, we cool. We cool. I'm just the aggressive one on the team. Okay. So sometimes I gotta be set on the bench, but that's all right. Because when I come out, I'm coming out fighting. I'm going to be good. But having a mentor, in this process and being given like prompts and like just all of this guidance and all of this direction, I feel like all of us are going to do so good in this. And I just wanted to give them a shout out because I think I get to meet my mentor this week. We've been emailing and he's given me an assignment that I already turned in. So I'm just really excited about that too.
Definitely shout out to the coaches there, right? So um so caller with a C. Um Calvin Smith says, let Carla Dancy Smith share her wisdom on how self-care leads to better elder care. So, okay, but that's your moment. That's your cue. Go.
Thank you, Coach Nick. I am very excited to have a message, deliver a message to family caregivers. And one of the things I will step into and do differently the next time I do my pitch for the judges is to talk a little bit more deeply about my parents. Their names are James and Barbara. They're real people. They're 89 years old, and they've been living with me for 3 years. And so part of the message I want to share with other family caregivers is they're not alone. It is a journey. There are good days, there are bad days. It's joy, pain, rain, sunshine, it's all of that. And I just really think that being able to share some real stories about day-to-day, activities that we do that help my parents stay social and mobile and, live the last days of their lives with dignity. That's what I want to share.
Okay, well, that was important right there. And have you begun to work with any of the judges yet? I mean, I'm sorry, the coaches yet?
No, not yet. I was not able from a schedule perspective to get my coaching in this week, but I have been doing some kind of brainstorming, writing, brain dump things to kind of solidify my thoughts for the next time up.
Okay. All right. Well, you stick with it because they're
Thank
here
you.
to help. And since we're speaking about coaches, Rob, let's talk about for the viewing public who will say, "Hey, I'm not part of the next best seller competition, but I do have a story to tell. I do want to write a book." So let's talk about what Quill and Company, the what we really do, the 9 to 5 thing that we really do with helping people write and publish their books. So, I know we got a few packages that people can utilize. So let's talk about them.
Absolutely, Coach Nick. As I was hearing one of the contestants talking about changing their title, it made me think about, how these stories can evolve as you start working on them and start writing them. You may change your title, you may change your concept a little bit, or you may broaden your horizon or your perspective as you start working with a coach or a mentor. So one of the packages that we offer at Quill and Company, our premier publishing package, where we will match you with a writing coach, that is what they bring out in you. They meet you wherever you are in your writing journey. Even if you're still at the point of concept, they help you develop the manuscript. Or if you've already written some things down or you've taken some notes over the years, they help you put that all together and form and shape a really well-written story. So that's our premier publishing package. That's open to everyone. And I always tell people what's included in that package, we throw the kitchen sink at you. So we don't just help you write the book, but we help you develop it. We help you publish it. We help you design your cover. We help you market it. And there's just so much. And we even help you after the publishing. We don't just help you write it and say, good luck selling it. We really help and stay with you throughout that process so that your book gets into the hands of those that you're writing it for. We also have a ghostwriting program. There's a lot of busy business professionals out there who have great ideas for books, but they're just too busy to sit down and write it themselves. But they want to still have their voice in the story. So we have a wonderful ghostwriter team that works with the author and develops the story for them, but they still keep their voice. They're still well informed and give input from the author so that it's still their story. But they just, do it in 30 days. It's a 30-day ghostwriting program. So yes, quick turnaround, but very impactful and very helpful for people who are busy or they're not necessarily into writing it. They just want their story told. And then we have our publishing package, which is mostly for people who've written the story before or they're pretty good at writing and they've completely finished their manuscript. So this is for an already completed, well-written manuscript. And I say well-written because a lot of people come and they say, oh, I finished my book. And then I get it and it's like 5 pages. So we want to make sure if you're going into the publishing package that your manuscript has already been written and it's well written We still go through, with a fine-tooth comb and do editing, and we make sure all T's are crossed and all I's are dotted. And then you'll get everything on the back end, the publishing and the marketing and everything else that comes with all the other packages. So we have a package for everybody, wherever you are in your writing journey. You will fit pretty much in one of those three categories. And even all of you, I've already offered that as an option for you guys too, as going through this program. And anybody listening, if you're hearing something that you're saying, hey, I fit into that category or that package, that's where I am in my writing journey, give us a call. Go to quillandcompany.com, schedule a consultation, and we'll sit and I'll talk with you individually about your story and what we can do to help you meet your needs.
There we go. There we go. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how things going to go going forward, and then we're going to wrap it up. All right. So right now on Quill & Co. So quillandcompany.com, you go there. If you go on the events tab, you will see, if you scroll down, you'll see a poll, right? That poll, that's not the poll to vote people through. I mean, that will be the actual poll, but we don't know the results yet until first of all, we got to have battle round 1. But that poll is a way for folks to test it out, for folks to vote for their fan favorite, just saying, well, hey, I'm on team Carla with a K. I'm on team Tasha G. I'm on team Jakaya, so forth, so on, right? So if you go to quillandcompany.com and / events, you scroll down, you will see where it says vote now. So again, you're not voting for who's going through right now. You're voting for who's your favorite, right? You're voting for who's your favorite. So let's see if we can just kind of pull it up real quick so people can see who's watching. All right. Okay. So there it is right there. So Quill & Company / events, and then bam, you vote for, who you're feeling, which contestant you're feeling right here, and you can vote as much as you want. All right. And then what we're going to do is that next week on the after show, we're going to announce who was the fan favorite, right? And then, because that'll be battle round 1, then come so then you, right after the live show, or you'll be able to start voting, I should say right after episode 3, right? Then you'll be able to start voting for who is going to make it to round 2. And so voting will begin right after the episode of next week, and then it will stop promptly Friday noon, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the poll will be shut down. So right now you're voting for the fan favorites. Next Thursday, when we drop the round 1 of the battle round portion of the competition, you will go right here when we do the right after that the episode. Of course, you want to come on to the live, and you're going to go right here to this site, to this page, and you're going to vote on who you want to make it through to round 2. And so you have until the end of the episode, all the way up until the next day, Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to vote as much as you want for your favorite contestants right there, right? And so, and then you'll find out, you'll find out in the upcoming episode who made it through and who didn't. Okay? So I encourage everyone to send your fans, send your family to the page, and just so they can get accustomed to, voting and know where it is. So when it's for real, come next Thursday, they won't have any problems. They know what to do. Sam, you got a question? What's your question, Sam?
I noticed that my name is spelled wrong.
Okay. Thank you for that. We're gonna fix that because it's important for us to make sure your name is spelled correctly. So we'll fix that for you, Sam. We don't want nobody voting for, Sam down the street. No, we want Sam right here.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Tiara. Come on, Tiara.
So, who is in charge of the pictures that you guys posted?
Okay, so listen here now. Listen here. The pictures, I mean, are they not you? We not like pulling them from
The
Facebook or somewhere.
enclosed, like, y'all could have had us posed or something.
Well, I tell you what, because come, when you go perform Battle Round 1, we'll make sure you get a nice little photo op. Okay, we'll do that. Just go ahead and you want to stand by the wall? You want to stand by a flower or something? Okay, we're going to do that and that'll be your profile picture. How about that? So, remember that. Look, look, hey, we this the first time we doing this show. We're learning together, right? So we'll try to get some better pictures of you. But I thought your picture looks fine, but okay. All right. We'll take that feedback there. All right. So again, send your people now to vote so we can see, who's the fan favorite, but also so they can become familiar with the voting process. They know where to go. They're not confused because when it really counts starting next Thursday, we want to make sure there's no issues whatsoever. And if there are some things, guess what? We got a whole week between now and next Thursday to work it out. So come Thursday night, everything's working smoothly. Okay. So now is the time. So Tasha G, you say when they gonna vote? Well, here you go. Now they get a chance to start. Oh, wait, no, come on mute. Yeah, I don't want you to be taking on the show. Stay back on mute. All right. Let me get through the important announcements first. Okay. So, but that's when they can vote, though. So now they can vote. So they can vote in a fan favorite and become accustomed to how we're going to vote. And then next Thursday, it becomes real. Your fate in this competition is in their hands there. And while we're talking about the fans and the viewing public, let's also make sure that we're following each other. Make sure we're doing that, right? We're following each other. We're following the Quillen Code, and that we got your soldiers, so we're following you, and you're reposting because collectively we build the audience, and that audience end up becoming the purchasers of your and readers of your books. So if you're not following, let's get on that now. And then the other thing I would say is let's encourage the vote. So we're getting a lot of views. So we have for episode 1, we have here, well, drum here, we have 428 views in just 7 days. And we are a book publishing company and not a YouTube company, so that's pretty good. 428 views in 7 days here. So let's continue to build that momentum, and shout out to the replay game because it was the replay people who really drove that viewership there. So the lives doesn't necessarily dictate the engagement of the people. Is really when they get a chance to sit down and watch it, right? And we've seen that we have pretty good numbers, so we want to build on that. So let's hit those like buttons, let's subscribe and hit those notification buttons so your friends and family are reminded automatically, hey, next bestseller is about to drop. Okay. All right. So we took care of some business here. And so final thoughts before we end the show. Final thoughts. So Tasha G, we will come back to you with final thoughts. And we
I
got
just
you,
wanted to
Tiara,
give you a
next.
round of applause. I was giving you a round of applause, Coach Nick. That's all I was doing. But since you have now given me the platform, I just want to say I'm so appreciative and grateful for this. Quill and Company, Robin, thank you for doing something like this because this book came to me one day and I literally I'm not going to tell you the story now. You got to tune in, but I will share where I wrote the book and what I was going through at that time, and to know that I'm one step closer to get it out there and just being able to now share this experience with moms on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, and to see how they're like, yes, oh my God, I didn't realize I needed this. It's like I'm just so humbled because I know just me being on this show is going to change the lives of so many. So I just wanted to say that and see y'all on Saturday.
Well, I appreciate that. Oh, God bless you for that. Appreciate that. Tiara, final thoughts there.
I just wanted to say this is definitely a great opportunity, and just looking back at everybody else's pitches, it was an eye opener that I'm not the only one that's nervous. I'm not the only one stepping out of my comfort zone. So it's very comforting to know that we are all human. We're all here with the same, goal in hand to tell our stories, and I just think that's amazing to watch everybody's, different ideas and aspects of life.
Fantastic. Appreciate that. And I also want to say, listen, all right, to the viewing public, and anyone, even to the viewing public, we want to say this. All right. So Robert and I, we have this, this idea, this concept of this competition and the show. So we can, in particular, for Robin to give to her Laurel community, right? What she says she raised her family in, right? She's a lover of books. She's an author, writer, now publisher, so she can give a bigger platform for ordinary people who have extraordinary stories, right? I always say she's the people's publisher, right? But this really is the epitome of the people's publisher. Look at your diverse backgrounds here, right? And so, okay, so we're doing this show. We're first time web show producers, okay? And so we're going to make some mistakes. It's not going to be perfect, right? Season 2 will be better than season 1, just like episode 2 is better than episode 1. It will get better at this. But remember, the whole point of this, our heart and soul, is really about helping these wonderful faces that you see on the screen get their shot of being a published author who actually sell books. Anybody can get a book published, but can you get a book published that's going to impact people and be able to make some money from it? Because at the end of the day, like Carla with a K said, we got it on takeoff. You said, you got a choice. Be that author or that lawyer. Don't tip me, but I think I know what that meant. Like, yes, indeed, in the heartbeat, I would be that daggone author if I could, right? So it's about giving those opportunities. And then, like with Tiara, about, look, hey, be who you are, but be safe about it, right? And so many people are struggling with being who they are while trying to be safe, right? And so for someone to step out with, I believe, showing tremendous courage to talk about such a topic that's considered by many as taboo, and maybe we just speak about real life, maybe it won't have so many taboos, and people won't feel, like they don't have a safe space to be themselves and to articulate what they're going through. So these are the reasons why we have this show and this competition, to not only help the authors become published authors and successful authors, but for you, the people, to have their stories that can help you in your journey in your life. So if we get some things wrong, we apologize for it. We're probably going to continue to get some things wrong, but we would do our best to give you the best kind of competition, the best kind of show we can, and ultimately something that you can be proud of by your fellow citizens of Laurel and the surrounding counties and cities, that we have done something that has impacted their lives so they can impact others. So I just want to say that to anybody or people out there who maybe a bit critical about some mistakes we were making. We're sorry. We're probably gonna make some more, but we do our best to do our best. And that's what we got to say. So on behalf of these wonderful contestants, behalf of the fabulous Robin, right? We appreciate you. We wish you a great night. Remember, battle round one will drop next Thursday, 7 p.m. on the Quill and Company channel, YouTube channel, and then immediately following, you will come over to this channel, the Coach Nick DC channel, for the live after show, where we will find out, hey, who's going to start. The voting begins. Let me be clear, the voting begins next week. So you definitely want to be here on the live after show when the voting begins, and then follow along this journey right here. So we thank you again. Appreciate the city of
Hey,
Laura for the
Coach Nick,
support.
are we
Yes.
going to be able to hear that next bestseller song again before we go? Because it was, I don't know about y'all, but I was rocking to that song.
That was
I
a
was
good
jamming
song.
to it too. That's a
Pretty
great
much.
song.
Yes, I was wondering if that was Coach
It's
Nick
a hit.
singing. Coach Nick, is that you singing?
See, now I'm a TV producer, but I'm a music producer too, just so you know.
A man of many talents.
Yeah,
So
many colors.
So we going, we definitely gonna play that going out, Robin. It's a good shout out. I'm gonna give you some Nick dollars for that. Good shout out for that, Robin. Yeah, we gonna do that. Let's do that.
It's the Nick dollars for me though.
Tell you, trust me, my entrepreneurs across the country, they love them. There we go. Everyone have a good night. And please, let's boogie a little bit while we going out and listen to the theme song.
It's more than a pitch. This is your story, your shot, your moment.
Fired up.
Only the bold become the next bestseller.
All right, I'm ready to go, brother. I hear you. Come on, Joyce.
Step into the spotlight. Your
all right, Colin.
Hey,
appreciate you.
You've got one shot. They'll
Sam, be ready to go without you, boys.
A voice, a dream, a future to claim. Make them feel it when you say your name. Will you rise? Will you fall? Can you answer the call? They're watching, you're clocking. It's now or not at all. Make your pick.